Hey, hey, so today let's talk about why do you keep waking up with a headache and it's not just poor sleep. So basically, what is your body trying to tell you when you wake up with a headache? So for an executive mom, you are busy juggling your career, your work, your home life, your kids, etc. Sometimes mornings can seem like a race against the clock, right? What if you wake up with a pounding headache? It's not just frustrating, it's actually disruptive to your full day, to your routine. Now, instead of stepping into your day with clarity, with that high energy, you have to push through the brain fog, the fatigue, the discomfort that comes with this headache. Now, you may have written it off as, say, stress, hormones, or say a bad night's sleep. But what if your body is actually trying to tell you something? So, in today's video, let's discuss what these wake up headaches, as in the morning time headaches that you wake up with, could be telling you, and really what can you do about it? Because just knowing why it doesn't work, you need to know how to manage this. Now, so that's exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modification, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, when I say adrenal fatigue, for those of you who are familiar with it, has a lot of symptoms. So the main ones that I had was low energy levels and lack of focus or brain fog. And when you have these two, it is very, very difficult, not impossible, but it is very, very difficult to manage your aches and pains, leave alone just your daily busy schedule, right? So, anyway, here I am. I'm trying to share the things that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey, hoping that it helps you too. So, let's get into the topic for today without taking more of your time because we're moms, we are busy people, right? So, the topic for today is what is your body trying to tell you when you wake up with a headache? Now, as I was saying, when you wake up with that headache, it can be a very frustrating, it can be a very disruptive experience. It can sometimes just boil down to, I don't want to get up and start my day. But then, why is this happening? Now, the very first thing to consider is because you have been sleeping in the night, there's no activity, you haven't looked at any screens, you haven't been doing anything really that's physically straining your neck. So, the very first thing I would look at is your sleep posture. Is your sleep posture actually straining your cervical spine or your neck? Now, just backing up a little bit, if you get headaches that originate in your neck, these are called cervicogenic or sometimes they call cervical headaches. Now, these headaches happen because, okay, a little bit about the anatomy of the neck. Now, what happens is in our neck, in our cervical spine, we have these seven vertebrae. Throughout the spine, there are nerves exiting the spine on either side, on the left and the right. And the nerves that exit the spine, the cervical spine, from your upper to mid cervical spine, so from your hairline here till about the middle of your neck, roughly, these nerves go up and they supply the back of the head, the side of the head, and that's the area of distribution of your headache. So if you have that stiffness or any discomfort in your neck, well, not necessarily, but most of the time it starts as a discomfort in the neck. You've slept wrong, you have done something to strain your neck, or you have other issues like bulges, stenosis, etc. And that causes irritation or compression of your nerves in the upper to mid cervical spine. And that goes and gives you the headache in that back of the head. Um, the Zoom looks funny. My hand looks really funny. Anyway, moving on. And on the side of the head, and sometimes it can come in the forehead and behind the eyes as well. So for myself, if I'm not careful with my posture, I get this pain along the side of the neck here. So I know this muscle spasm that I get, that can lead to the headache. So everybody is slightly different, but that's a general overview of what cervicogenic headaches are. Now let's move back to what we were talking about. That's your sleep posture. Now, one of the most common reasons for early morning cervicogenic headaches is that poor neck alignment during your sleep. If your pillow does not support the natural cervical curve, basically in simple English, if your neck does not stay in a neutral posture when you're sleeping because your pillow is either too high or too low because it's not the optimal height that it should be, that neck goes into a twisted or a turned position and the tension builds up, and that can lead to headaches. Now, what can you do about it? Now, if you are a side sleeper, this is slightly different for side sleepers and back sleepers. If you are a tummy sleeper, please, please, please stop now. I know it's easier said than done because it took me months to go from tummy sleeping to side sleeping, and then I'm still transitioning to back sleeping. But if you can transition to either side or back sleeping, that's great because when you're a tummy sleeper, your neck is twisted. Suppose I'm sleeping with my neck this way. I'm in this position for that 6, 8, whatever number of hours I'm sleeping. And then do you see how my neck is totally twisted? It's compressed on this side, stretched out on this side. Obviously, the neck is going to be in pain, right? So, another thing is when you are okay. I will come back to this transitioning from uh, tummy to back sleeping or side sleeping later. Moving on. If you are a side sleeper, now if you're a side sleeper, this is your earlobe. This is the tip of your shoulder here. Your pillow should be, okay, the zoom is really funny. Okay, your pillow should be, the height of your pillow should be the distance from your earlobe to the tip of your shoulder here, right? So, okay, my chair is going in and out of the background, so you can see the tip of my shoulder. Anyway, so tip of my shoulder is here, and my earlobe is here. So this is the distance that should be covered by my pillow. So basically, that's the height of the pillow. Usually, pillows will come in small, medium, large. So you can see which one. You can measure this distance and then match it to the pillow. Or you could physically try it if you have a store near you. Another thing you can do is if you are a back sleeper, the distance from the back of your head here to the back to your upper back here, this should be the height of your pillow. Of course, this is a smaller height. Now, if you are one of those who tosses and turns in the night, goes from side sleeping to back sleeping and the other way around, you probably want to get a contour pillow because they have a higher side and a lower side. I know it's a pain to get up and change that pillow because I'm in the same boat. However, uh, that's the best solution I've come up with. If you have a better one, let me know and I'll be happy to know about it. So, the pillow that I use and recommend, I will do one thing. I have a blog on the same topic. The topic of the blog is called What is your body trying to tell you when you wake up with a headache? Now, in that blog, I have left the link to the pillow that I use and I recommend. Of course, you can get any pillow that matches that criteria that we were just talking about, or something that makes you comfortable. But in case you want to, you can refer back to that. Now, in that blog, you will also find a link within the blog for those who are tummy sleepers and want to transition to a side or a back sleeping position. That blog also has more information on how to sleep right and wake up pain free. So there are some sleep related tips for you, easy tips, so that they give you relief from your cervicogenic headache. It also has linked to a course that I have, which is called Simple Solutions to Manage Your Cervicogenic Headache. It's a step-by-step plan to identify the real causes of your neck-driven or your cervicogenic headaches and makes you feel better faster. Of course, it's got solutions as well. It offers you these practical, easy, and proven strategies that I've used for myself and for my clients over the years. Of course, we don't talk about medication, but that's a separate thing for doctors to manage. This course also talks about solutions that work towards improving your clarity, your energy levels, and your comfort so that you can fully engage with your career, your work life, and with your family, right? So, anyway, I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're a busy mom like me and you can't be bothered to look for it, it's okay. Message me, drop a comment below, or just say blog link question mark or whatever uh, words you can think of that will tell me that you need the link and I will send it to you. All right. So another thing that I wanted to address very quickly here as a part of this video is make sure that I'm not going to go into the details. The points I'm talking about now will be addressed in detail in that blog itself because otherwise this video will become too long. If you're clenching your jaw or you're grinding your teeth, you may not know it, but what happens is you may be doing it knowingly or unknowingly in the night. Stress doesn't clock out when you go to bed, right? So basically, many high performing women or men out there clench their jaw at night without realizing it. Now, the tightness in your neck, your jaw, your upper shoulder, your like upper back here, these are all connected because they're muscles that are crossing over from one region of the body in when we're looking at your upper body, that's your neck, shoulder. They're crossing over these joints and muscles, they're closely linked to each other. So what happens is if you're one of those who are clenching the jaw or you're grinding your teeth at night, this can also cause headaches, right? So obviously you can do some gentle neck and jaw stretches before you go to bed. You could, if you're one of those who grind teeth, you can go to your dentist and get a night guard. Um, Also, watch your posture in the daytime. What you do in the daytime, suppose I'm sitting at my desk all slumped like this, right? So do you see how my neck protrudes forward and there's a lot of compression in this area? Obviously, those nerves are going to get irritated. And if you have you have a affinity, not affinity, you have a predisposed condition that, like you have a condition, say, disc issues or maybe muscle tightness, something that predisposes you to headaches, obviously that's going to kick in with poor posture. So make sure your daytime posture is optimal, is you are sitting in a good posture so that by the time that otherwise those okay, let me back up. Sit in a good posture. Otherwise, those stresses that accumulate in the day will carry on towards the end of the day. They're going to be accentuated when you go to bed. You're going to go with all that stress to bed, and you will, of course, wake up with the cervicogenic headache, or you might even get a headache towards the end of the day that carries on to the morning. So, again, in that blog, there's a posture reset, and you can have a look at that. That tells you how do you stop slouching at your desk. It has a couple of easy and simple tips that are quite useful. All right, so just looking at my notes here. Yep, that's all I wanted to address today. Now, if you have any questions, any comments, if I've used any words or terminology here that does not make any sense to you, or you want me to explain it further, let me know. I'll be happy to do that. And remember to check out that blog that has all the details and all the strategies to manage these cervicogenic headaches that you get when you wake up in the morning. So I will leave a link in the description of the blog, sorry, in the description of this video for that blog. And if you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio, or just message me and I'll send it across to you. Alrighty, I hope that was useful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.